Among the most important duties of husbands and wives in the Islamic context is the fulfillment of one another's sexual needs. This is not something to take lightly. Spouses who insist on rejecting their partner's advances cannot be surprised to then witness their relationship disintegrate. There are situations when a husband is forbidden to approach his wife for intercourse, during her menstrual cycle, during her postpartum bleeding, and during fasts in Ramadan. But outside of these cases, it is imperative for both spouses to do their utmost to make sure that they are partners in every way, not least of which physically. Another thing to remember in marriage, love is a practice. More than a feeling, it's an action. It's something you do. It's not just something that happens to you. It's not about grand gestures. Love is in the details. Always, always pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala maintains the love in your heart for your spouse, and that He preserves the love in your partner's heart for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who puts the love in our hearts, and He can take it out just like that. Just like that. If tomorrow your husband or if tomorrow your wife decides that he or she no longer loves you, there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. And if you think about it, it truly is a miracle that out of the billions of people in the world, that there is one person who chooses to love you. And you choose to love that person. So recognize it as a blessing and continue to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it, for that blessing. All men want respect. And men, all women want to be understood. Now, the wife might be the one to instigate most of the major changes in life. She might be the one who brings home the thicker paycheck. In some cases, she may even be older. She may have more college degrees. However, I'm going to repeat the point I made earlier on. The husband should be given the respect of having the clear role of being the emir, or the leader of the household, of the family. He should be honored by the wife and the children as the guardian of the household. And he, in turn, should recognize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the guardian of his and his wife's household. Now, of course, recognizing that your husband is the emir of the family doesn't mean that you aren't vocal in sharing your own opinions. As one grandmother joked, the husband is the head of the family, but the wife is the neck that turns the head. You, ladies, you don't want to contradict or correct him in public. You want to give him the dignity he deserves. I remember my husband once saying to me, "I'm not the one being homeschooled, Hina." And I was like, oops, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Sometimes us wives, we get used to teaching and correcting and, trying to improve things, but you have to remember that your husband does not want to be corrected or contradicted in public, right? Any conversation like that you need to have needs to happen in privacy. Don't ever demean your husband to your children. If you don't honor their father, they won't either. And remember, it's still ghiba or backbiting to talk about your spouse in a way that he wouldn't like, even if it's only with people who will always love him. You don't want to let down your guard when it comes to his rights. And same with the men, right? Don't want to do ghiba about your wives. This is an important one for young people. It's been coming up quite a bit lately. Regardless, and I would address this to both men and women, but especially women, regardless of whether you had a social media presence before marriage or not, once you're his wife and once you're her husband, Be aware of your partner's views on how much you post about yourself and your life with each other. You want to respect your partner's limits.